Oh, welcome again. Today is 7th November, just a day after Spurs were humiliated. It's not humiliated per se, but it was a defeat. You could say it was unlucky. But several things came up. First is the relation of managers to the referees. A lot of managers, not a lot, Klopp and Arteta are notorious for trying to change the decision for referees. You know how these decisions are made? They usually happen that in any game, if you think a decision was on your side, it means it was against the other opponent. And in the same way, if it was against you, it means it was for the other opponent. So, if you are being fair, if there's any manager complaining, we should have both. If we're saying that the league should be fair, like we want top class referees, that means that we should also have top class managers. And if we are having top class managers, they should also know when the decisions are favoring them as opposed to the other teams. That means if a decision is unfair, two managers should complain. The people who the decisions are favoring and those others who the decisions are not favoring them. However, like we know in any competitive sports, and especially this competitive sport, which the managers have become notorious from the periods when Mourinho was here to now. Now we have Pep, we have Arteta, and we have Klopp. They will 100% blame everything else as opposed to their tactics or as opposed to how they played. You'll find people like Pochettino blaming the players. You'll have people like Ten Hag blaming themselves. Why do these three coaches, usually think that every decision should favor them? Why do they think that they should always win every game? If they don't win a game, it's because a referee made a decisions against them, or this goal did not stood. Like this past weekend and the other weekend, who are the managers that complained? Arteta is complaining every weekend, whether he wins or loses. He usually finds a thing to complain about a referee. This other time, he was complaining about, was it somebody who was sent off or a goal was rejected? This weekend, a goal is they want a goal to be rejected. The decisions are usually like, I again usually use statistics when I say that unless there is an evidence of skewed of biasness, all these decisions will either favor you this week and be against you next week. So at the time when they are favoring you, if you are a top class manager who wants things to be fair, at that time when the decision is favoring you, you should be the first one to say that no, stop it. We usually have these fair play games. You could see on this, you'll just Google this I would have put here, but Premier League. But there's this video where I think somebody was injured. Then the guy fell down before the referee was able to stop the game. This other team went ahead and scored. In the breath of fair play, the coach whose team scored instructed these other players to let the other team score so that everything remains fair. Why do these teams think that If the decision is not fair for them, why does Arteta and Klopp, I'll not include Pep this time because those two are very notorious. Why does Klopp, why does Arteta think that if the decisions is not for them, then the league is against them winning? I'm sure Klopp was very happy the way Tottenham was defeated, because when he was given two red, he was complaining. He was saying like the league is favoring Spurs. Why would a league that favors Spurs now give Spurs two red cards? Sometimes this manager just don't know how to take a defeat. And again, also the fans don't know how to take a defeat. Why would they claim that Jackson hat-trick is the worst in history? Like we have a lot of worst hat-tricks. At least Jackson dribbled past a keeper. If we go back just 2 years ago in 2021, Ibrahimovic just scored a hat-trick of tap-ins. Like it was just to his leg, goal, to his leg, goal, to his leg, goal. Liverpool, the kite, also just scored a hat-trick of tap-ins. Like he was not struggling. Even people used to claim on that, was it 2011 or 2012? Used to claim like anybody, a nanny, a rugby player, you take just somebody from the street, he will still score that hat trick. Like it wasn't hustled, nobody used any technique, nobody used football IQ to score. However, Jackson hat trick was a little more okay. It wasn't difficult, especially that he lost a lot of goals. He should have scored maybe 5 or 6 goals, but he dribbled on the second goal. On the third goal, was it the third goal? He beat the notorious high line that Spurs were using. Spurs have this, like how they defend. I was able to differentiate. Is it differentiate or compare? When Liverpool were 9 men and when Spurs were 9 men, how they defended the goals. You could see Liverpool just went back, like they played like Burnley, not Burnley. I think which team usually have that defensive, like Brentford. They were at the back, 9 players behind the ball. Spurs, on the other hand, just decided that we are going to defend from the center of the field. Like they were all at the center of the field trying to say like if like nobody should, we should always find a way to put all these strikers off. That's also showed that football IQ in Chelsea is a little low for the people that were there. Like if it was Man City, you defend like that for 30 minutes, trying to beat them on the high line, like off, trying to, and you are 9 and you are all the defending at the center of the field. You will be scored a lot of goals. And when Pochettino changed and brought in Modric, you will think that Modric is here trying to beat that high line. He came, does the same thing like those who are there. Like you could see like sometimes tactics. Sometimes we usually blame all these players trying to say, oh, you should do better, you should do better. But I think the blames for how a team plays, how a team scores, should solely be on the manager and you could only blame the players if a single player is messing the whole team. But if you find the whole team is playing the same way, the whole team is messing the whole team, then just shows that the manager is responsible for that. Other results that were very, how do you say, unexpected, it was Aston Villa. The way Aston Villa has been playing, the team has been playing so well. Like, it was very unlikely that you find Aston Villa just losing casually to the bottom team. Okay, Forest are not the bottom team, but they are in the relegation zone. And how Forest just beat Aston Villa by 2 goals casually. And in the game, they were also not just defending all the game. Like, they played really well. Sometimes you think all these coaches, some coaches, like in this case Unai Emery, like you'll find his tactics only work to certain teams. Like if you find Unai Emery meeting Chelsea, meeting, I don't know, Brentford, meeting some other team, or meeting Man City, they are really competing, even defeating those teams. But if they meet the bottom side or the team that doesn't want to play, it doesn't work for them. It's the same case with Chelsea, it is the same case with Brighton, it is the same case with Wolves. Like normally they'll just have opponents where they can beat, but then they will never go from mid table because the same way they play cannot work in to other opponents. It can't work to bottom tier teams, it can't work to Man City or Liverpool. Yeah. So today we have Champions League's game, and we hope we could see a lot from Manu before we decided that to rate them, whether to see if they are improving or not improving again. Yeah.